Today, Ultra Broly is here, so we're summoning for him. Let's dive in. He's here, and I am actually very excited for it. Dude, the thing is, I like Z Broly. Now, his animations are definitely one thing because, dude, I don't know. It's so weird to me that they came out, they told us that we were going to get a bunch of crazy new animations, the Ultras, and that's what would take them so much longer. But then we see a lot of what feels like repurposed. But then on the flip side of it, how many ways can you really, like, really change the way someone does ki blasts or change the way someone punches? What I'm trying to get to right now is I feel like they really set themselves up for failure with making that specific note. There's so much else that goes into an Ultra, right? The intro, the action. Dude, I can't even imagine how long that sort of black ink effect takes. And luckily they utilize it as part of the summon, right? Like if we pull him here because it's 2 times Ultra rates, like we'll actually see it. It's actually really sick. Again, I feel like you set yourself up for failure, nearly saying like, well, these are going to take longer because we're putting a lot more effort into this and this and this. And then now we've gotten, geez, dude, what? We got 3 free-to-play ones, and we've had, what, four summonable now? Because Gogeta, Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku, Vegito, and now Broly. So, ooh, okay. So, you know, to be this deep in and to see still a lot of similar animations, you know, maybe if you dissect it, it looks a little different. I feel like maybe we should just never have mentioned that was going to be something that they've done, but there's still a lot to them. And of course their kits alone are enough, I think, to make people want to summon. Like this guy obviously has a little bit of wonkiness, and I saw Goresh talking about this on Twitter as well. Just the fact that like we're powerful. Is this going to be an LF? It is. What's up, Goten? I don't know what it was. I just like, even at launch, I wasn't the double LF. Okay, I like that. I like that LF. Dude, that kid video is so much fun. I just was never the biggest fan of that Goten. Let me know how y'all how are y'all feeling on the Goten? Yo, what's up, PyCon? Oh my gosh, that was crazy. I mean, I couldn't use anything but the Kid Buu. 3 LFs and 1 multi. Okay, anyways, you guys are here and you enjoyed that triple LF multi. Hit that like. Yo, Ultra Broly, can we do 6,000 likes on this video? I kept it light. 6,000 likes. Y'all can do it. I'm looking at you. And of course, you guys are new to the channel, you might go down there, you might hit that red subscribe button. Having a good time over here on the channel. Now, let's talk Legends. The perception right now amongst a lot of the community, and maybe it's also because there's a lot of, obviously, you know, Dokkan heads in my ear too. And for whatever reason, there's this weird animosity. I'm just here in the middle, dude. I like both games a lot. Now, granted, if you take a look at my channel, you're gonna go, well, Nano, you just make mostly Dokkan. First off, you guys are always super situational, because right now, Legends has been, at least from a content creator perspective, me like putting my eye out there to see like what can we do, what can we make. Legends is in a weird spot to do some of the content, right? But obviously when Legends Fest is here, we'll be all over it. I do still make a good effort to at least get a video out for all of the releases. They did sort of like a weird thing with Trunks. Not a weird thing, but a weird thing for me. Like just the timing with Trunks, and I was gonna be late on him, and I was like, well, then I probably just won't cover him. And then I looked around the community, it just didn't feel like there was a lot of hype behind the Trunks. I was very excited to get that Trunks though, and I did still summon for him, and I got him. The thing is Dokkan, when in drier times, lends itself to content just a little bit better, honestly, just to be super transparent with you. So it's not that I'm not just like playing the game, because I log into this game like daily. But when I launch the game and I'm sitting there, you know, just hanging out, you know, with the family or something like that, I'm like, man, yeah, some Legends sounds fun right now. I'll just, you know, play a couple matches and then I hop off, and like it's a good time. I think that's why I have like a very healthy like relationship with this game. Like I'm not even kidding. Like I think when you go too deep into a game, that's when you start having like a very unhealthy relationship with it. And I've always been there with this game since pre-launch, but it's been in a way where I've just maintained a very healthy relationship with it. I don't know, that's why we're still here, we're still making consistent content on it. Anyways, it's just like this game just does not lend itself to making content in its drier times, and it has been dry. I won't deny that. It actually has been, this game has been pretty dry. for sure. But you're in between. They really heavy load up the anniversary. I know a lot of people were like, well, the anniversary this, anniversary that. The anniversary was fine. There's nothing wrong with the anniversary. I really had no real qualms. Obviously, I wish these games were more like upfront about their plans and what they're doing, because when you've done like anniversaries and celebrations the same way like so many times, when you go into another anniversary, you're just expecting, I mean, these games are so habitual, so you're just expecting to get that same experience that you had before, and then they changed the 4th anniversary so drastically, because the same content that we'd have gotten about 30 days we got instead in about like 45 to 50, right? You know, because obviously all they did was just split out the LFs. They didn't do dual LFs at the same time, and you know, it's just a much different experience. I wish they could just be more upfront about that. Like, these games are always so secretive for an obvious reason. It's a business standpoint, because they don't want to give you too much, so that way you want to summon, you know, when they put out the new thing, they want you to summon for it, because they want you to focus on this new thing, even though you know in the back of your head there's gonna be another new thing in like 2 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever, but they want you to focus on that thing. They don't want to, you know, they don't want to like draw too much attention away from that thing on the thing that's going to release in 2 weeks, right? And so obviously that's why they didn't tell us how the anniversary was going to go, but I just wish there could be a little more transparency with this games. Like, we're not dumb. We fully realize you're going to give us a new character in roughly 2 to 4 weeks every single time we have, like right now with this UL Broly, guess what? There's going to probably be a new LF in the next 2 to 4 weeks. That's just like, that's just the reality of this game. Like, that's just the reality of this of this game. There's no secret to it. There's nothing to really say other than, guess what? There's gonna be a new, probably semi-hype character in the next 2 to 4 weeks. And then in the next 2 to 4 weeks after that character, it's gonna be Legends Fest. And most likely at Legends Fest, we'll have 2 units at the same time. And also most likely, it'll probably have something related to Superhero. At this point, like, Superhero is gonna get here when Superhero gets here, right? Like, at least with Dokkan did tell us that we are getting something superhero related that is summonable before the end of 2022. Legends hasn't done that, you know, and so once Dokkan's done it, then I'm sure like the gloves are off and Legends can do it too. But that's just sort of the situation that we're in, where I know a lot of people are obviously waiting and very excited for Superhero, because it's the first new animated official Dragon Ball thing we've had in 4 years. I mean, we literally haven't had anything since DBS Broly, which released at the end of 2018 for Japan, and in early 2019 for everywhere else. So it's been a long time since we have something newly animated. And someone in my chat the other day, when I was live on the twitch.tv/Nanogenix, was like, I'm not ready for Superhero. We don't need Superhero yet. And I'm like, what? What are you on about? Because it's new characters. Why would you want to wait? If anything, we should already have stuff from Superhero in the game right now. Like, why in the world would you want to wait? Like, that makes literally no sense. That just means that they've programmed you and you've let them get to you too bad. No, we should have all the stuff in the game now. There's no reason at all to wait for any of this stuff, period. Like, I miss the days, and I wish Legends could have been around for it, where like the anime airs something and that night it's in the game. Like, literally, UI Goku, when the crazy episode 109 110 released for Dragon Ball Super, like, I watched that and was able then to summon for UI Goku like that night. That was sick. That was one of the coolest things that's ever happened, like, in playing one of these games. Are you kidding me? No, I don't want to wait. That's, you know, and maybe that's just me. And maybe right now someone's listening to me like, yeah, you're a product of the whole instant gratification. It's not instant gratification. It's just good. It's just good marketing. It's being smart about all of this. And I'm sure the thing is, this isn't a hit at, you know, the devs of Legends or the devs of Dokkan, and not necessarily a hit at the IP holders either, because I'm sure it's just a big, crazy thing that you've got to like go through. But I'm sure if it were up to people like Toshi and the devs of Legends, and also on the Dokkan side, I mean, they'd have it in their game now, right? Because they want to make their bosses happy and all of that. And you know what would make, you know what would do well right now, and if they released it immediately, is something with Superhero. And then it would make their bosses happy, it'd make them look good, make the game look good, etc., etc. And the longer you wait, the more the hype dies down. Now, for the most part, obviously people are going to be tapped back in for some Superhero stuff, because as I mentioned, it's the first new Dragon Ball thing in 4 years. Everyone just wants to see the new characters in these games and use them. That's what's so special about having Dragon Balls being such like a big sector of gaming. Like, it is crazy like how big Dragon Ball is in the gaming sector. Like look at games like Fighters. That's like a top 10 best-selling fighting game of all time, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that, but I'm almost positive it is. Like it's a little top 10 of all time best-selling fighting game. Xenoverse, those games combined have sold over 10 million units. Like Dragon Ball is such a massive part of just, you know, everything media in general, but especially gaming. And one thing that makes it special is you get to play like with these characters that you adore and you're hyped about and all those things. That's what makes all of it so cool. So I can only imagine the devs really wish right now they could put superhero characters into their games. So anyways, I hope it's soon. I hope it's soon. I hope it is by Legends Fest. If Legends Fest does not have anything superhero related, I'm actually very curious as to what Legends Fest will be. Now with Legends Fest, I have to imagine it will be the same sort of form factor that we were used to last year in the previous anniversary, where we'll get 2 LFs at the same time and then probably an Ultra in December. I'd have to imagine it will still match that. Now if it isn't and it spreads out like 2 LFs and an Ultra between like Thanksgiving, Black Friday area through to like holiday Christmas area, that'll be very interesting if they do that. But I have to imagine they'll just go, you know what, here's 2 LFs and then here's an Ultra like a month later. That's what I have to imagine that they'll do. But it'll be, again, we're in uncharted territories for this game after that anniversary, so it'll be very interesting to see what exactly they end up doing with this game. Like maybe the most interesting of any of it yet, if I'm being honest with you. So anyway, that's where my standpoint on all of it is, and I definitely look forward to what happens. But I will definitely also admit, well, I think it's in a lull period, especially from like the content creator side and for maybe some of the more like louder people in the community. I don't think Legends is sitting as bad as a lot of people. Like it's so crazy, these games, and Legends specifically has always had this weird stigma around it where it just can't seem to like get a dub in the vast majority of the sort of mobile Dragon Ball gamers. It's very weird how many people have like a hard up to like want this game to just do bad. It's so strange to me. Like I've again, as someone who's been like, I literally got my content creator standing from playing Dokkan, you know, like I am very much so heavy ingrained in that community. But then also I've been with Legends since day one, right? Like I was playing Legends before even technically released. Like my account is like as old of an account as you can basically have. Like that's, you know, like that like this account is day one, baby. Like I've been here, been tapped in, and I've always believed. Obviously I've had moments, you know, but we've always been here. So I've always, and people think, I think people come to my chat sometimes and really think I'm gonna hate on Legends, and I'm like, do you pay attention to my channel? Like I play this game, albeit probably a little less than Dokkan, because a lot of the times there's just less to do in this than Dokkan, just because Dokkan, for better or worse, has a lot of stuff to do all the time. I'm feeling it right now because I'm trying to catch up on a bunch of Extreme Z Awakens that I missed. I went from having about 100 units that I'd missed from like side banners and free to plays. Extreme Z Awaken, if you don't play Dokkan, because I know some of you watching probably don't, is the equivalent of essentially a Zenkai Awaken. It's sort of those two games semi-equivalent thing. So it's just making old units better and more up to date and relevant. And I was sitting on about 100 of them I hadn't done, because what they'll do is they'll give older side banner units that aren't like, you know, Dokkan Fests or LRs or whatever, and you have to go back and you either have to do something from an easy area or something from a Dokkan Festival Extreme Z battle where you go back and redo it. And I was just sitting on roughly about 100 characters because I just never really used them. Like I did the main ones, obviously, like if it's a main release, kind of like these Zenkais, if it's a main release Zenkai, I'm gonna do it. I was just sitting on a ton of them I hadn't done. And so I've went from having about 100, 101 to having like 10. Like I have 10 units left that need to be Extreme Z Awakened in the entirety of my account. And so after doing that, it's been such a grind. I'm kind of over Extreme Z Awakening right now, because I really am not a fan of the way they do the Extreme Z areas in general anyway. Is the routing path, I don't know, it's just a weird grind. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just a strange grind. So after doing that, I'm honestly over here with Legends. Like, man, it is nice just to log in, play a couple PvP matches, feel very fulfilled with the game, and then hop out. And over here on Dokkan, I'm like, oh my god, dude. All right, now there's 30 units left that I still need EZA. All right, now there's 20 units left that I need EZA. All right, dude, we're down to like 10, bro. Yes, 10. Except I'm out of keys, so I can't do anymore. Like, I'm like actually stuck. But it kind of feels good too to just feel like at a point to where I can't do anything else because I'm out of keys. So I need the events to actually get back on rotation and come back to where I don't have to use these keys that allow you to go to play any event even when it's not live at the time. Again, it's always just interesting, and I mostly see it when I'm live. People will come over and really think I'm more of like this Dokkan head, and I am a Dokkan head for sure, but they think I'm gonna trash on Legends, and I'm like, I'm not trashing on Legends. Like, I like Legends too. What are you doing? Like, no. And it just depends on the time of the year too, because luckily these games manage to have their hype times in sort of different areas. Like when we're doing Legends Fest, Dokkan will have a Heroes crossover, but Heroes crossover is still typically obviously not as hype as a Dokkan Fest or an LR, although this year a lot of people think we're going to get a Heroes LR, which if Dokkan can get a Heroes LR, then why can't Legends get like at least something Heroes related? It's crazy that Legends is 4.5 years old and we have never gotten a Heroes crossover. Like, I don't know. Like, and Dokkan doesn't do a ton of crossovers. Obviously, we get the yearly Heroes one, but you would think Legends would do something. I think one day maybe it could happen. It's just been so weird that we haven't, because like Legends has done crossovers. Obviously, we have the Fighters characters, we have Kakarot characters, and like the Kakarot Goku is one of the coolest releases they've done yet. Like the animations for that Kakarot Goku are so freaking cool. Almost a little annoying to fight against though, because like his animations again are built to reflect how he looks in Kakarot, but man, like it's a little hard to when you're fighting against a Kakarot Goku, which you don't see a lot, but still it's like weird because the way he sidesteps looks like a vanish, but it's not a vanish. It's, you know, very interesting to say the least. Dude, I'm like almost 20k CC deep. We have no UL Broly. What is going on, man? Come on. And we're back to 2 UL rates. Ha, is this it? Is this the one? It took a second to load. Am I looking into things too deeply? This is it, right? Broly, you got me? Broly? Broly? Nothing. We're oh, wait. Just Vegeta. No Broly. All right, so we're 19,000 deep. I just did another one. So we're officially 20,000 deep on this banner. No UL Broly. And I feel like I was all over the place there. That's the thing, man. I'm so bad about, especially being in these mid videos and they're not like focused and it's like summoning, but I'm so incredibly bad about trying to go to one point and I'll like take this exit and then I'll do, you know, get the on ramp, come back down, going towards that point, and I'll take another exit. And I'll talk about this, talk about that. All that to say, I think that this game obviously is in a small, maybe dull place, but these games are games as a service. Essentially, they're meant to release content consistently to keep you in the game. There's no real end in sight, right? There's no real beating Legends, there's no real beating Dokkan. They are a game as a service that as long as it keeps making money, it's going to remain a game that you log into and you do things in, and again, you're never going to actually quote unquote beat. And with that sort of outline of the game, there's always going to be highs and lows. Like even in Dokkan, as much as I think some of the Dokkan heads want to believe that that game does not have lows, it has lows, and that's good. That's so good for the game. We can't be at constant peak and at constant hype all the time, because then, especially on games like these that do cost a lot of money to play, especially if you're trying to collect everything, you need them to have low periods. You need them to have things that you don't care about as much. You need them to have periods where it's just nice, like a nice cool off, right? Like that is such a needed thing. And that's sort of even, not to go crazy here, but that's sort of even a life. Like you need highs and lows. It makes you appreciate the highs more, the lows, you know, build character, etc., etc., etc. That's just how things are. Things can't always be peak. And so that's how these games are, and that's fine. And so I think right now, I think what it is, especially with a lot of people, because this is the normal thing that happens in this sort of time frame for Legends. It's I just feel like I am hearing it a lot more lately. The game's dead or the game's dying, and I'm like, first off, No. Like, secondly, this is just like a typical September, like October sort of time slot of how this game is, like in that area. Like, no, the game is fine. I think what it is this year, though, is off the heels of what I think a lot of people viewed as not a good anniversary, whereas actually I think the game made a lot of money. I think the game still did really, really well during its anniversary. So I think the perception of the community is that the fourth Annie was the worst to date, did really bad for them, and that the game is like on this downhill thing. And I actually think it was not at all. But I think that was the perception coming from May into June into July, and now we're post Annie. And since post Annie, we've gotten an LF Trunks and an LF Cooler, and now this Ultra Broly. And while the hype isn't necessarily there for these characters, these are characters we've already had in the game, right? Like, all three of those characters are just variants of characters that have already existed in this game for years. Like, obviously it's a little different because they're LFs and they are very specific, but it's sort of the same thing with Dokkan. A lot of people are like, well, they've not done this and they've not done this and they've not done this, and yeah, they haven't done those, and I'm very guilty of that too, and I do the same thing with Legends. But there's a variant of that, like maybe not in the specific way that you want them to do. Like, for me specifically right now in Dokkan, something I really, really want is an LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku. But technically, there's already an LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku from Wrath of the Dragon, although the one I want specifically is Majin Buu Saga right when he goes Super Saiyan 3. I think that is just like, yes. But even that technically already exists in the game, and in a way that's animated pretty friggin' well, you know? Like, we actually have that animation in the game, but I want it specifically as an LR. But at the backbone of the game, that Super Saiyan 3 Goku exists several times over. So I think it's a mixture of coming off the fourth Annie, people feeling a little weird about fourth Annie, even though, again, back in, I think probably Legends team, Bandai, everyone is like probably very happy with how the game performance was, you know, did and all of that. And then you've got basically 3 rehash releases. So it is very hard to build hype off of rehash releases, which is why I thought Superhero was going to happen much sooner than later, because that just makes sense, because you can get a lot more hype behind Superhero, which is entirely new characters, like so many new characters. It also sucks what happened with Gamma 1 and 2. I mentioned this in a Dokkan video, but I'll mention it now here in this Legends video. Like, Gamma 1 and 2 are obviously very cool characters. If you haven't seen the film yet, they are such cool characters. Like, I didn't really, obviously, just going off their design, you can probably find videos of me talking kind of bad about their designs. I didn't think they looked like they were going to be very interesting characters. Then of course I have to eat my words because we get into the actual film. Is this Whis? Oh my gosh, Whis! Hello, hi, boom boom, let's go, baby. I get another chance at this. Oh, dude, I love the Whis animation. Dude, I feel like they turned the Whis animation down. I used to get this all the time. Now I don't get it like ever. Anyway, oh my gosh, dude. But like, so they released Gamma 1 and 2 before we even had a ton of, like, we'd seen a bunch about them. So I feel like they had to tone them down so that they could just only use animations we had seen from the trailers. And then you get into the movie, and Gamma 1 and 2 are awesome, and they have some of the like coolest, especially 2 specifically, like sets in the entire like movie. Like, dude, what? Why did you have to release them so early? Like, why did you have such an early movie crossover? I wish you would have just waited, because then we could have had a much cooler Gamma 1 and 2, man, which I'm sure we will get a Gamma 1 and 2. They are obviously posed to be a very cool actually tag character, if we're being honest. But like, so I'm sure that's going to happen. Man, that would even generate more hype than I think rehashes for the overall audience. Obviously, people like me that are tapped into Legends, and I think a lot of you watching, actually there were several of you that weren't that excited about a Z Broly. I think Z Broly's sick. Like, I'm obviously tapped in, woke up early to make this video, to summon, to do the thing. I want Z Broly like so bad, and he's not showing up. If we would have followed the 4th anniversary with a superhero release, it would have painted a different picture for this game right now, and it would have changed a lot of people's perception, which right now currently is that the game is like down in the dumps. Anyways, that's just me giving my, you know, 2 cents on why I think people have this perception of the game right now. And again, my, I guess, like, background, if you're not familiar with me, and why I feel like I'm at least somewhat warranted to be able to talk on these things and have a pretty good perception to call these things out is I've literally been doing this for so long, and from the creator side, and seeing all the different things. And in a weird way, us as creators can sort of get this very basic but semi good outline. Why did it have to be Legends Limited? Why did it have to be Legends Limited? Because we had the thing flying. It could have easily been an Ultra. It could have just, you know, it could have been an Ultra. But as creators, especially when you've got a channel as old as mine, been around for so long, seen the release of different characters in all these different games, you're able to really get a high like level overlook as to the things that people really care about and the things people don't care about. It's so interesting. Like, obviously I'm not saying that my stats would fully back what they're seeing, because ultimately when I'm sure they can see a bunch of statistics based on how long people are playing the game, how much people are spending, and obviously they can see their total revenue generated each month as well, just from their app. It's, you know, obviously I'm sure they have a app dashboard where they can see that instantly. But I would be willing to bet, I mean, like, no joke, willing to bet that my view graph for Legends, like if I actually printed off my view graph from beginning until now, from 2018 until now, we would see similar, probably even just in revenue, similar my view bumps and lows based on Legends views and stuff to their revenue generated from this app. I would almost guarantee it. You can sort of get an idea of how hype the community is based around the viewership on like Legends creators. And that's just, and I'm singling me out because obviously I'm not tapped in. I can't see Gresh's analytics. I can't see Rise analytics. I can't see like all these other people that create Legends content, analytics, Steve Free, Riku, everyone. I can't name all of them, but I'll name a few. Into Kuba. I don't know why I'm still naming people, because I just said I couldn't name all of them. But think of all of us collectively put like all of our stats together and then compared it to the actual like Legends side of things. I would almost guarantee you that where our views were the highest, similarly as a community, and our views were the lowest, it would probably almost identically match their graphs too, which would be very interesting. So I think to some extent we have a bit of a, yeah, I've not worked on that Zenkai yet. We've had a bit, because it just doesn't interest me at all. I don't care about Slug, man. I can't. I was like, do I just let it sit there and do that? I was like, man, I don't feel like doing that right now. You just gotta like sacrifice your phone for like 35 minutes. It's crazy. Well, it's probably more like 20. It's probably like 25. But I just haven't done it yet. I'm like, man, for Slug, am I really gonna sacrifice my phone for Slug? But I would be so interested in seeing that data. Like, that's something that I've gotten like way more into, is looking at sort of the back end of YouTube, like analytical data, like what keeps people tapped into videos, what makes people want to click on videos and stuff like that. I'd be so interested in seeing Legends like actual data and seeing how close it would match to ours, like for real. But that is my credentials for why I think I'm able to sort of have like a call on that, just a little bit. Again, not saying I know all the things or that I'm even correct. I feel like that gives you a bit of an insight. And what sucks too is that sometimes, not necessarily you have to play stupid, but you can't chime in because you're under like an NDA over something, you know, that might give you an idea of stuff. I can say rightfully so right now, I don't know. But there's been times in the past where people think that like maybe I don't know something, but some of my peers do, and that they would know better, and that they have like this insider info or something. When in all reality, maybe I know a thing or two, but I literally can't say it because I'm literally under an NDA. And so I like quite literally can't talk on it, and it sucks. I'm like, dude, so I gotta sit over here and play like not necessarily play dumb, but you just can't allude to anything, right? Because if you do, then you could be in breach of contract, and that's not ever good. And like with these companies, you always want to like maintain like a, you know, you want to be good, you want to do the right thing and maintain like good relations with these companies. And it always sucks whenever like people haven't gotten it from an official source and it's quote unquote leaked, but like I can't talk about it because if I talk about it, then I'm in breach of contract, but everyone else can. And it's like, well, that Nano guy, he doesn't know anything. And it's like, I do. But unfortunately, I can't talk about it because if I did, I would get us in trouble, all of us. Because yes, it's not good for anybody when that happens. It is not good for anybody. Those things are so finicky and so particular that like, man, dude, you could ruin it for everyone. You know what would not ruin things though? Right now, if this wasn't an LF. I can use them though. Actually, it's kind of crazy, but I can actually use that LF. Dude, I am almost 30. This might actually be 30,000 CC deep. No Ultra Broly. This is insane. This is the one, right? Surely, it just gave me the Dragon Balls. Yes, I went and got coffee. I did not think this would take that long. I was like, sure, I'm gonna pull that UL Broly like nothing. Nope, here I am, still waiting on the UL Broly. All right, he's in here. I believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. That was a sparking. No. UL Broly, show your face. Z Broly. No way was it just double Bojack. Dude, I just got Dragon Balls in the sky for a double Bojack and a Gotenks. Okay, Broly. Blue skies. And we got Nimbus, bro. It is go time. No Broly. Don't. Why Broly? No. Y'all, that means LF. In case you're like, why are you doing that? That means LF. I don't want an LF. I want an Ultra. No LFs. Stop it. It's so sick. You know what else is sick? Ultra Broly. But I'm not getting him because instead I'm going to Red 7, my Kid Buu. I love that. Yes. There's no way that was the UL ×2 stage, was it? Yes, I'm so deep that I don't even know where I'm at. All right, this is the UL ×2. This is the one. He is not okay. The Chad of Chads himself, Yamcha. Yes. I mean, we are summoning this morning, bro. No, I can't. You know what I can? Oh my God. Wait. Dude, I'm sorry. That is the best Ultra animation in the game. Why on a skip? You know how long I've been sitting here? I've been sitting here so long. That was on nothing. There was no animation, bro. Like, subscribe, look at this freaking Chad, and I will see y'all in the next video.